Hi guys, welcome back to this Money Control live stream. You're watching IPO Watch with me, Nandita Khemka, and we are focusing in on Mobikwik's 572 crore rupee IPO that is open for subscription. It has already raised 257 crore rupees via the anchor book, and the IPO has garnered very strong investor interest. Already subscribed 2 times the shares on offer. The retail portion is subscribed 8 times the shares on offer for that particular category. We have the management joining in to talk about the post-IPO roadmap. Bipin Preet Singh, MD and CEO of the company. Congratulations, Bipin. First of all, 257 crore rupees via the anchor book, marquee names like Morgan Stanley Investments, White Oak, HDFC Mutual Fund, Axis Mutual Fund, SBI Mutual Fund. That's the kind of participation that has come in. But you've to start with, you've downsized your IPO twice, right? First, it was 1900 crore rupees, then came down to 700 crore rupees in January, and now 572 crore rupees. Tell us the rationale behind that. What led you to downsize the IPO, and what is the kind of valuation you're seeking now? Is there a significant change in the valuation that you're seeking now?
So, firstly, thanks, Nandita, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our IPO so far. We are very, very grateful for the faith that investors are showing in our company. In terms of the valuation specific question that you asked, look, I mean, we earlier were planning to raise 1900 crores back in 2021. At that time, our revenue was 300 crores and we were losing about 100 odd crores, 128 crores year in terms of loss. Whereas when you see the last financial year, we have grown to almost 900 crores, 890 crores of top line, and we became profitable. One of the few, probably the only profitable fintechs in the country in our space, with 37 crores EBITDA and 14 crore PAT. When we looked at that, we don't need to raise 1900 crores in order to invest in the company. And therefore, we went ahead with a smaller size. And therefore, we have arrived at the number of 572 crores, which we are looking at right now. In terms of valuation also, we last raised money from ADIA, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, as one of the latest investors at a very reasonably high valuation back in 2021. And that was at 5,000 crores, or just short of that. And now we are bringing the IPO at a valuation of 2,200 crores post money, which is fairly low compared to where we raised our last private round. At the same time, the company has grown 3x and become profitable. That gives you an idea in terms of how we think about the future prospects, because I believe the fintech market has seen a lots of ups and downs over the last 3 years. And we are here to come and do an IPO and list in the public markets and hopefully have a good journey in terms of building in the public markets over the next 5 to 10 years. Also, we are not selling. None of the promoters, and as promoters, still are the largest shareholder in the company. We are not selling. None of our shareholding backings, and we have the who's who have backed Mobikwik over the years in terms of their investment into the company. None of them are selling. This also shows the commitment that they have in terms of the growth of the company and the future prospects of the company.
Right. You said you've turned profitable. Is it on the EBITDA level or on the net level? Because for the first quarter of FY25, due to pre-funding cost adjustment provisions, you did report losses, right? Give us a color on, the profitability going forward.
So I would not look at any specific just a quarter of loss, because see, in our industry, ultimately we are a growth company and our margins are pretty strong. Both payments business and distribution business combined, we produce 30% plus margins. So as long as we grow, 30% margin means below that there is only fixed cost. So as long as we are growing, we are able to meet all the costs that are needed, which is employees, IT, everything, which comes in the fixed cost, which is what we did last year. And therefore, we had a 37 crore EBITDA, but also a 14 crore PAT, which is unheard of in our industry. In the first quarter, we have EBITDA positive, but PAT negative because we have raised some debt and we have some working capital. And so the interest component of that has dragged the EBITDA back into the back, but it's a small number. And look, I mean, the way to look at Quick is still it is a growth stage company. The company has to serve hundreds of millions of people, tens of crores of people over the next 5 to 10 years, for which our goal is to continually reinvest our margins into growth. But at the same time, we have reached a point where we don't need any significant cash burn. And so that's how we are building the company. And because our business is growing, margins are growing, so we will continue to invest those margins in the growth of the business, but we necessarily not focus just on taking cash out of the company.
Right. One more question regarding this. You made good money despite, in fact, in the absence of Paytm. But, when do you anticipate the business or your business to return to normalcy after the impact of Paytm ban?
So I think I'm not sure how much impact that has had. It has had some impact, but we have not been able to quantify it internally. I think if you see the last year's numbers, growth numbers that we have seen, it is only in the fag end of the last quarter some impact would have come. But we had already done successfully. We see the growth in payments. It has been growing 2x. Our payment volume has been growing 2x every year since the last 3 years. In fact, in this year, first quarter, it looks like it has grown 3x from the same time last year. So I think across ups and downs, and despite competition being there, not there, Mobikwik's story is about growth and profitable growth. That is what we focus on. We don't focus so much on competition.
All right. Let's talk about your, expansion plans then. You have expanded your payment ecosystem through various products like, Mobikwik Wallet, UPI integration, Mobikwik Zip, EMI, credit cards, BNPL products. What additional services are you planning to introduce to establish yourself as a comprehensive digital platform for fintech services?
So Mobikwik business model is very simple. First, we have payment products like you mentioned Mobikwik Wallet, where we are the leading digital wallet in the country by far now. And the second area of business model is where we distribute financial products like credit, but not limited to credit, like not just loans and buy now, pay later and credit cards, but also investment and savings products where we distribute products like mutual funds, digital gold, and fixed deposits. So the focus of the company is to serve those customers who are typically underbanked and not well served by the leading banks in this country, because they don't have these customers don't necessarily have the kind of income or the kind of money that they should be served by the bank. So therefore, being a digital platform, we are able to connect our customers through the length and breadth of the country to these banks, to these NBFCs, to these mutual funds who want to distribute their products to these customers. And I think there, the opportunity for innovation, the opportunity for new products is really endless.
Right, you have the in-principle approval for payment aggregator from RBI in place. Can you give us a timeline as to when you plan to start taking fixed deposits with NBFCs and banks?
I think you're asking two different questions. For fixed deposit, we are already doing the distribution of fixed deposits on Mobikwik app.
Okay, you've already started.
So distribution of FDs and mutual funds and gold and digital form is already on Mobikwik. And in fact, for FDs, we have 5 which you can book at the click of a button. On the payment aggregator, that process is the way, and we have completed all our work, and we should hopefully get it soon.
All right. So no timeline as such for the payment aggregator part.
So there is no such timeline, but also the business continues. We are able to onboard new merchants on our payment aggregator. That process continues. So there is no impact on the business as such.
All right. When talking about your user base, as of 30th June, you had over 16 crore registered users, which is the fourth highest in India, and over 4.2 million merchants to make and accept payments online as well as offline. How do you plan to grow your user base, and any targets in terms of merchant onboarding also over the next couple of financial years, say by FY27?
So if you see AMJ numbers, April, May, June quarter numbers, we have added 50 lakh new registered users. So that is a run rate of almost 2 crore or 20 million in a year. Last many years, we have easily done 10 to 15 million users without spending too much on marketing. So we hope to continue and accelerate this in future simply because if you look at even UPI, which many people are using, millions of people are using, still it is maybe 20% or less than 20% of India's population who still uses UPI. Whereas the opportunity is much, much larger, at least 2 to 3x larger. And we have shown in our RHP that even digital payments are going to double over the next few years. So clearly, growth in digital payments and users is already coming. And in my view, it should accelerate going forward. Same way, even when you look at merchants, so we have 40 lakh plus merchants, but in the first quarter, which is AMJ, we added more than 2 lakh new merchants. And so again, that is again a significant area of growth, simply because when you go through the length and breadth of the country, the use cases of digital payments and the usage of cash is still very high. And so whether it is a QR code, whether it is a sound box like device, or it's a POS machine, that business Mobikwik is already doing and getting significant traction across the length and breadth of the country.
Right, couple of more questions, Bipin. We've seen RBI coming down heavily on some fintech players. Regulations are stiff. The central bank has recently issued guidelines which bars peer-to-peer exchanges from offering instant withdrawal feature, among others. How would this impact your business? Do you foresee any impact of this, this particular regulation?
So, look, I mean, I think we have to understand that as a fintech business, we have the responsibility of upholding customer trust. And that also comes from the licenses that we hold. We hold 3 licenses from RBI, one advisory license from SEBI. We have the distribution license from IRDAI for the corporate agency. So we have to behave responsibly as an industry. And Mobikwik, over the last many years, has attempted to do that, and I'm happy to inform you that we have a fairly clean track record when it comes to all our compliances with respect to all the leading regulators in this country. And this is how we want to continue building the business, because ultimately there is no point in just growing, and then getting exposed to compliance related or regulatory risk. I think all regulators, which includes RBI, SEBI, IRDAI, they are all highly supportive of fintech. That much I can tell you. And therefore, we have to keep our side to ensure that we are all operating with the clean track record, which Mobikwik has been doing over the past many years.
Right. Last question really, Bipin, typically your customers do not have a very strong credit history, and hence, they are underserved by traditional financial institutions like banks and NBFCs, so to say. And the RBI has also, come out with restrictions for unsecured credit. There's always a risk of default, at least where BNPL is concerned. So what, according to you, would be the biggest risk going forward for your business?
So I think all financial products go through different kind of cycles. Few years back, we were all saying that India has very low penetration of credit. And now in the last 3 years, digital players like Mobikwik has worked with leading banks and NBFCs to penetrate credit to people who never had access before through innovative products like buy now, pay later, merchant loans, short-term personal loans. So I think that macro, I believe, is not going to change. There might be seasonal corrections, and those corrections are necessary. to make sure that all the growth that is coming is all sustainable. And even the regulator wants that all the credit penetration, even unsecured, should grow. However, definitely they always will come down if the growth is too high or the credit costs go up significantly. And I think that therefore I don't see anything wrong if it slows down a bit at a macro industry level. However, you have to look at the long-term view on this, and the long-term view is, in at least from where I sit, and we talk to the regulators and everything, is extremely bullish.
All right, that's the view then. With that, Bipin, thanks a lot for taking our time and joining in and sharing your plans, for future plans with us. Congratulations on the strong response to your IPO, and all the best for the subsequent listing as well. Look forward to interacting with you again post your listing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, with that, we've come to the end of this edition of IPO Watch. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates, and have a good day.